Okay, it appears I'm live. Okay, officially we have a minute to go, and I will start then. Let's see if any more. I know it's an odd hour, considering most of my viewers are in the United States, some from the West, some at Central Time, and they're probably in bed and not, but some in the Eastern Time Zone are up and about and having breakfast, and we'll see how. And it's not the first time I've done live streams this early in the morning. Sometimes it's when I'm most alert, since my sleeping patterns seem to be off. So we'll give it about a minute. And one of those, hello, power to me. Welcome to Straight Talkin' Fedora, Chic. I believe you're new here. For those of you who are new, we are a social commentary / storytime channel. We focus mainly on mental health issues, but not exclusively, social issues of the day, societal concerns such as addiction recovery, body positivity, and of course, dementia and Alzheimer's sometimes, because yours truly has early onset frontotemporal dementia, which I have talked about in a few videos if you take a look at my channel page. So if you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing and hit the little ringy thingy down below if you want to be notified every time I go live or I upload. Although lately I tend to be doing live streams, yes. I know for many have said that the notification bell is rendered useless because many are still not getting the notifications anyway. But let's give it a shot. Maybe one day they'll get it together, right? Okay. Hey, Marina. Great to have you. Great to have you, Marina. Oh, you're not caught up? Okay. I will give you a brief catch up, Marina. No problem. I'm sure many who are here. Yeah, okay. I will give a brief collab. Synopsis. Yes, this is where I get my word loss done all the time, right? Okay. So yes, for those of you who don't know, who are not really following the YouTube communities, Kati Morton is a licensed therapist who specializes in eating disorders. She has a sizable channel of about 845,000 subscribers at last count. She has also discussed other mental health topics such as DBT, aka dialectical behavior therapy. She has discussed other items like borderline personality disorder, all that lovely stuff, relationships and mental illness, you name it. And I used to be subscribed to her. I actually enjoyed watching her at one point. There was this is a woman, of course, who is not without her baggage. When the BetterHelp.com scandal came out, BetterHelp.com was one of her sponsors. But when it came out that the terms of service were a bit shifty, if you will, for lack of a better term, because it was found out that many who were online providing online counseling through BetterHelp were not licensed therapists. And it was assumed by many at first using the service, or even those who were sponsored by them, that they were licensed therapists. And it turned out it was not the case. I'm not sure if BetterHelp is still sponsoring Kati Morton. I don't know. But that's neither here nor there for the purposes of this video. Okay. So anyways, and then there was, and the other subject in this video is Eugenia Cooney. She is no stranger. For those who follow YouTube, she is no stranger. Many videos were made about her. This is a young lady who had suffered from eating disorders. Many do speculate, due to her gaunt appearance, that it is anorexia. However, she has not owned up to anorexia, nor has anybody else close to her professionally or in her family have come out and said that she has anorexia. As such, we will continue to use the term eating disorder for her. And of course, for those of you who are new, I am not a mental health professional in any shape or form. I don't even play one on YouTube. I am a layperson. I am a patient. I am also a recovering addict who was raised by addicts. And I was around addiction most of my childhood and my young adult life. So I'm going to be coming from that perspective. Okay, when doing this video, this is the perspectives I am going to be coming from. Okay, so Eugenia Cooney, for those. Hey, Marina. Yeah. So, anyways, for those, so a little recap for context for those who don't realize. Last year, sometime, I believe it was in February, many had discovered over time Eugenia Cooney's channel. She got famous, sadly, for her gaunt appearance and not for her actual content. Kind of like Amberlynn Reed or Foodie Beauty in reverse. You know, they're known more for their size rather than their content, which is, yeah. So Eugenia Cooney at the opposing end, she was better known for her size and the speculation of an eating disorder, perhaps anorexia. And people had noticed her getting thinner and thinner and thinner to the point where it got pretty scary. So she did go to rehab last February, spent about a month or so, I'm not sure. And then come the summer, Shane Dawson, in one of his Shane Dawson documentary styles, did a video called The Return of Eugenia Cooney. I did a video reviewing that last summer. It will be linked in a pinned comment below for those who want more context. So I'm not going to rehash that video except to say, yes, there were some red flags. Like Shane Dawson, there was a lawyer on the premises at the time, and Shane Dawson was made to sign some legal paperwork. So that's limiting what he can do. I do remember the backlash Shane Dawson got from many viewers because he was being referred to as an enabler and such. But the thing is, Shane Dawson is not a professional when it comes to eating disorders. He is somebody who apparently did open up about his own background with eating disorders. So I suppose maybe that's where he was coming from when he did that video, The Return of Eugenia Cooney, last summer. But many were referring to him as an enabler and this, that. Why didn't he hit the hard-hitting questions? Why was there a lawyer on the premises? Yeah, well, as we can see, nothing is of the ordinary. And I don't think it's just Eugenia Cooney. I think it's many of these big YouTubers who have hit fame, and fortune. I think that's the case. I think that's the case of many of them. Eugenia Cooney sticks out because people, you know, and there's a lot of armchair quarterbacks, equally with the obese YouTubers who might mukbang on camera. You know, people come on, they say and they claim they know what's best, you know, and I'm going to guess that most of them are not nurses or nutritionists or anybody in the health industry, you know, in the medical industry. And the same would hold true for Eugenia Cooney. And so sometimes that's a little bit, I mean, we have all railed against the Rewired Soul for diagnosing people online. Remember? So I don't know why this doesn't hold true for this, but anyways, be that as it may. But Shane Dawson's mandate, basically his own mandate in his own mind, it was not up to him to question her rehab, whether it was successful or not. He was just simply doing that video to welcome her back into social media. It was to be nothing more, nothing less. He wasn't there to play hard-hitting journalist. So, but anyways, I go more into detail on that video I did last summer, which will be in a pinned comment below as mentioned. Fast forward to today, Kati Morton, licensed therapist. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention another thing. Yes, last summer, because this is important to the context of this video. Jaclyn Glen, another sizable YouTuber, she usually discusses social issues, she discusses politics. She's been known to have had a few collabs with Blair White. Anyways, she was a friend of Eugenia Cooney along with her friends. She had come out with 2 or 3 videos right after Shane Dawson's video, revealing that she and her friends had staged an intervention of sorts for Eugenia Cooney, which had her subsequently 5150'd for anyone. I will leave also in a pinned comment below I described more 5150 in my previous video, but I will find something with a brief description about the 5150 law of the state of California for those who are interested. But yeah, she basically 5150 is a mandatory psych hold if one is proven to be a danger to themselves or to others. Now, according to Eugenia Cooney in her collabs with Kati Morton recently, the PET team did come by. PET, not to be confused with a PET scan. PET team is psychiatric emergency team. Hi, Jiffy. Great to see you here. Long time no see, girlfriend. So anyways, you know, it is, so it is a, excuse me, having word loss right now. So she was 5150 and she was greeted like with, from the subsequent intervention from Jaclyn Glen and friends, she was greeted by the PET, psychiatric emergency team, however you want to refer to them, and she was taken. So this obviously indicates her condition. She might have been so thin that she was proven to be a danger to herself. It's not for me. Like I said, I'm not a professional. I don't live in the state of California, and I don't know Eugenia Cooney personally, so it's not for me to judge how the psychiatric emergency team judged or deemed her condition on site. But Jaclyn Glen did one video. It was a longer video that just about pop up and saw your live. I agree. Kati Morton shouldn't have collaborated. She enabled the negative behavior. Well, Jiffy, I'm gonna get to that later in the video. If you're not around, you know I keep all my live streams up, so I'm gonna be getting to that shortly. I'm actually questioning the ethics of her collabing. She is still a licensed therapist in her jurisdiction, so I have to question the ethics of Kati Morton doing these collabs with Eugenia Cooney, in all honesty. I really do. Yes, you will. I know. You always do, Jiffy. Yeah, you always do, Jiffy. I'm happy to hear that. So yeah, it's more than that. I do question the ethics, honestly. Once again, I live in Canada, and I am not entirely familiar with laws governing psychologists and psychotherapists in the state of California or wherever it is that Kati Morton lives. I'm assuming she lives in California because she seems to be affiliated with a lot of these larger, well, not affiliated, but has some knowledge or is, she has met in person a lot of these larger YouTubers who do live in California, more specifically the Los Angeles area. So I'm going to be getting to that shortly because it is a serious question I've been asking myself. Was it ethical for her to do it, to do those collabs? Collaborative videos. Okay, there are 2 collab videos out that came out in the last 48 hours. One on Eugenia Cooney's channel called How to Help Somebody Struggling with Mental Health. Okay, and already that title, to me, sorry, but I think it should be called How Not to Help Somebody with Mental Health or Mental Illness. And then the other one was on Kati Morton's channel called 5150 Eugenia Cooney's Story. Okay. So, yeah, so I'm about to get to that. I'm just providing context for those who are new. Some who may be watching me don't follow the YouTube scores like we do. Yeah, so they don't follow us like the way that we do, you know. Excuse me. It's because I don't smoke enough. But anyways, what happened was, we have to keep in mind when Jaclyn Glen did that intervention with her friends, she did consult Kati Morton. In fact, on Twitter, she was on Twitter today or yesterday. Yesterday. Jaclyn Glen was on the Twitter yesterday with receipts. She and her friends had consulted with Kati Morton on how to approach this intervention with Eugenia Cooney. 5150 apparently was spoken about as well. The 5150 Act was spoken of during their consults. Now in these collabs, it appears that Kati Morton has basically thrown Jaclyn Hill. No, not the disgraced beauty guru. Jaclyn Glen, okay? Another YouTuber who I said has a sizable channel talking about politics and social issues and some commentary and stuff like that. Jaclyn Glen. So basically, Kati Morton threw Jaclyn Glen and her friends under the bus in doing these collabs. And what was said. Now, basically, the themes put out there, and I have to say, eating disorders is something I've never suffered from. But as somebody who worked as a stripper 25 years ago, the girls that I worked with on the floor I was no stranger to their eating disorders. Let's put it that way. I got to observe it daily. So I knew what I saw, and I knew what the common threads were, but that's the extent of my knowledge. And again, this is where I am coming from when doing this video, if anybody's wondering what knowledge I have or don't have. So there's one thing that is true, okay? Eating disorders often mimic addiction, like drug addiction, alcoholism, maybe even gambling addiction to some degree. And the one common thread is that with somebody with an eating disorder, similarly to somebody with addiction with inactive addiction, at the end of the day, it has to be the addict or the person suffering from the eating disorder. At the end of the day, sadly, there isn't much anybody can do about it if they have no desire to get help or get treatment. And the sad truth is sometimes we have to let them fall and hit their rock bottom, whatever that may be. And again, rock bottom for one may not be the same as for another. So that is also important to note, okay? And it is to my understanding, the success rate of interventions, which is often because interventions like with eating disorders are used in addiction, how successful are they? You know, I have to wonder about that, because once again, intervention, even though coming from a caring and loving place, maybe, what you're doing is cornering an addict. You're cornering that person, saying, okay, I'll go, until they say uncle, basically, and I go to rehab. But, we all know that the most success comes from an addict who goes into rehab themselves. And the same would hold true with an eating disorder, right? So, but the point is, this is the true fact. Now, the reason I mention this, Eugenia Cooney was, like, the way she talks and the way she implies, she was never going to take herself into rehab, nor was her mother going to somehow intervene on her behalf and put her in rehab last February. If her mother, like I said, I don't know her mother, but I'm going by what little information I have. The sad thing is, I think mother views her daughter as a meal ticket, and with Eugenia's sizable channel, her mother, was it in her mother's interest really to see her daughter get well and to recover? It's a question it's a good question that needs to be asked, because with Eugenia Cooney, if she were actually, becoming of a semi-normal size, I'm not going to say medium size or overweight, because it doesn't happen with most people recovering from an eating disorder, and nor should it. It does happen with some of them, but it shouldn't. But yes, if anybody has any comments or questions, feel free to leave them in the live chat. Yes. So anyways, sorry, I'm getting I'm starting to have some word loss here. I'm losing my words. I should have probably taken better notes. Oh well, we'll muddle on through. So anyways, yeah, that's what I was saying. It should be noted, there was no indication Eugenia Cooney would have gone into rehab or gotten help, inpatient care or whatever, had the intervention not happened between Jaclyn Glen and her friends. And like I said, once again, Jaclyn Glen had consulted Kati Morton before pursuing this intervention. And because that is very important to note. But now Kati Morton is like lukewarm about it. She doesn't talk once about because in the 5150 video on Kati's channel, there is no mention of Jaclyn Glen. And Eugenia Cooney mirrors what she said last summer. She still does not refer to them as friends. Okay, maybe a recovering addict, even though they are still strong in recovery, they may not be forgiving the friends or family that gave them an intervention, if an intervention was applicable. But she's still saying the same thing, that she's like, oh, I would have gone into rehab anyway, or oh, my mother would have put me in rehab. I think it was apparent, no, this is not necessarily true. And so thus Kati Morton basically threw Jaclyn Glen and her friends who provided the intervention under the bus. There was keep in mind when Eugenia Cooney was mentioning them, they were not mentioned by name. Kati Morton did know who she was referring to. And we got to wonder, does Eugenia Cooney know that? Well, she must know by now because there are enough videos out on that subject. There's enough on Twitter on that subject. I mean, Eugenia Cooney or her mother or her lawyers must know by now, or her other handlers must know by now, that it was Kati Morton who advised Jaclyn Glen and her friends on how to go through with the intervention, how the 5150 Act is applied. And the very fact, and it is quite obvious. Now, there is a little bit, I'm going to say something a little bit off that many are going to disagree with me on. There are people who are saying that Eugenia Cooney has not gained a sufficient amount of weight to be still in recovery. Well, this may well be true, and if I were to give my non-professional layman opinion, I would agree that she's not. But I also think it is dangerous to join a pile-on to say, well, she hasn't gained enough weight. And I've noticed with others, not just Eugenia Cooney, but others suffering an eating disorder such as anorexia, and they go, let's say, into an inpatient care center, and they come out and people are saying, but you're all still so skinny. Didn't they feed you over there? And there is something that people don't realize. They seem to think a rehab center should, or they do, or if not, they should. As soon as the patient comes in, let's plunk 10,000 calories worth of food on the table, and we're going to make them sit there until they eat the whole freaking thing. Well, I'm exaggerating with the 10,000 calories, but you get the gist of what I'm saying, right? You do get the gist of what I'm saying. You can't. Okay, there is something called refeeding syndrome. That was common post-Holocaust with concentration camp survivors. Once they were liberated and food was provided to them, concentration camp survivors tended to be sick already and in poor physical and mental health when they were liberated or when they got out. They tended to they were starved and overworked physically with grueling physical labor. So it was said that many, as soon as food was available to them, they would eat as much as they could. And then many of them got very sick, and it can be dangerous. I think it's called refeeding syndrome. So, I think a rehab center for somebody with eating disorders would know about refeeding syndrome. Just for those who think that somebody in rehab for an eating disorder, automatically they're going to gain weight and they're being fed a lot of food. No, it doesn't happen that way. It has to happen gradually. Anyways, I got sidetracked. Just thought I should put that out there is all. But it seems like they were expecting Eugenia Cooney to have gained at least 50 pounds, right? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Marina. Food has to be introduced slowly. It was proven, like I said, post-World War II, post-Holocaust, when concentration camp survivors, a lot of them, because they'd been starved for years, right? And a lot of them were having, health issues already, or if not all of them on some level. So yeah, refeeding syndrome is a thing. And so it's a little by little. And no, you're not going to expect somebody after a month, even if compliant with their treatment, you're not necessarily going to expect a full, 20, 30 pound gain right away. Like I think I noticed that John Q. Public tends to expect. It doesn't work that way. And nor should it work that way. At least it's not safe, So it's back to what I was saying. But yeah, she is. I have to say Eugenia Cooney looks the same as she did last summer. in her Shane Dawson video, to me anyway. She looks the same. I don't know. You can look at videos. Some say that she's lost weight again. I don't believe that she has, but I don't believe that she has. I think she's the same. Do I think she's underweight? Yeah, probably. Probably. But again, from my non-professional opinion. But it is clear from the way Eugenia was speaking in both her collabs with Kati Morton, and Kati Morton appearing to go along with this. Oh, that is not worthy of somebody who specializes, especially not just any therapist, but a therapist who specializes in EDs, in eating disorders. That is not a good look. I'm sorry to say. Really not a good look. Okay, because I'm sure Kati Morton, as a therapist and in her training, must have realized that Eugenia Cooney is more than likely being less than honest, and Kati Morton was face to face with her in person, and she must have noticed. It's like what Kati Morton should have done, I think, in my opinion, was okay. Let's stop here. If we're not going to be real, if we're not going to be honest, let's just stop this. Let's just cancel it. At least I would think. That's what Kati Morton's ethics as a therapist would dictate. It should have stopped right there. And that is why I question the ethics of Kati Morton in pursuing both collabs and completing and uploading them. Now, I don't know. That is up to the state governing, the state board, whatever board governs therapists or psychotherapists, right? It's not up to us. It is really not up to us. If Kati Morton were serious, maybe on her channel, okay, I think, and I hate to say it, but I think, and I'm being speculative here, I think the obvious reason is that maybe the reason that she chose Eugenia Cooney, of all people, because there are plenty on YouTube, there are plenty of young women on YouTube and young men as well, because eating disorders, okay, are becoming more and more prevalent in young men, even though it is still predominantly a young women, a girls disorder. Boys and young men are growing in numbers with the condition, and that should never be forgotten, and that should always be taken into consideration. But anyways, there are YouTubers with other YouTubers with eating disorders, perhaps not the notoriety or the fame that Eugenia Cooney has, or the subscriber count or view count that Eugenia Cooney has. Eugenia Cooney, I think, arguably is the most famous YouTuber with an eating disorder to date. Hence why Kati Morton, I guess, would have picked her. I got to wonder, did she really want to discuss eating disorders with a patient? Or did she really want to do like a pop psychology celeb thing? And that should have been made clear. But that should have been made very, very clear, in my opinion, right? So, hang on a second. My computer's not cooperating with me anymore. Oh, dear. Yeah, my computer's not cooperating with me right now. Okay. So, okay. So, yeah, anyways, like I was saying, it was like if Kati Morton, I don't know, in my opinion, if she were truly serious about wanting to do a video discussing eating disorders, let's keep in mind, Kati Morton herself has a sizable channel. Okay, her videos get millions of views in her own right. She has 845,000 subscribers, which is basically a stone's throw from 1 million subs. She could have easily have done a much more credible video if she picked somebody else who is in recovery, okay, who is actually in recovery from an eating disorder, somebody who is more honest and transparent about that disorder. Honestly, I think Kati Morton would have had a lot more credibility. Yeah, I think Kati Morton honestly would have had a lot more credibility. So, had she done that, so you got to wonder, what are you after, Kati Morton? Celebrity, fame, more fame? Or you really want to help? Do you really want to use your expertise to help? You know, because I honestly think you picked the wrong patient. I think you picked the wrong patient, and that's my opinion. You picked the wrong patient to do this collab with, to do these collabs with. And in all honesty, you don't even talk about once, like when Eugenia Cooney was going on about Jaclyn Glen and friends, not mentioning them by name, but again, think it's a safe bet Kati Morton knew who exactly she was talking about. And that could have been confirmed off camera as well. That likely might have been. Kati Morton not once mentioned that she had consulted with Jaclyn Glen and friends, advising them on how to pursue that intervention last year. Not once was it mentioned in those videos. And I think it would have been important, at least ethically, once again, from ethically, from this outsider's point of view, I think that should have been disclosed. I think Kati Morton should have been that. Easy for me to say, kids. I honestly believe that should have been disclosed. That she did advise Jaclyn Glen on how to pursue that intervention with Eugenia Cooney. That should have been disclosed. Probably in both videos, both of the collab videos on both channels. That should have been disclosed. But then again, that's my humble opinion, right? Because I got to say that, right? Because, well, got to say that, right? But anyways, but yeah, that's, I'm going to turn it over to you for a moment in the chat. I'm going to turn to you for a moment in the chat. Oh, yes. Right now, we're going to take the opportunity for the obnoxious e-begging portion of this show. We are not monetized here at Straight Talkin' Fedora Chic. Should you wish to support the channel, all investment, any donations are reinvested in this channel, plus in my new upcoming channel, Grandma Dramamine, which I hope to have by a first upload there by early February. So anyways, here is the link for those who are interested. Okay. So if you wish to support the channel, okay. Yeah, so like I said, I have a PayPal link. I don't have Streamlabs as of yet. So yeah, and like I said, Grandma Dramamine is coming on. I also have a Discord server for those of you who are interested in meeting some awesome non-judgmental people. If either you want to come and vent, it's a safe place to vent for adults only, 18 and up only. Or you can just come and shoot the shit, as they say, or share your creativity with others, or get your meme on. So I'm going to put that also on the, I'm going to put that also in the chat, the link to my Discord server. We are 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks in, and we are 35 members strong. So that is awesome. We are growing. Okay, so, okay. Okay, so there we go. So let me check my video. Okay. My computer is doing very strange things right now. Okay, can you all hear me? Can you all see and hear me? Because my computer is doing very strange things right now. Plus I've been fighting with the YouTube dashboard all morning. I've been fighting with the YouTube dashboard. Okay. So anyways, you got my Discord server in the live chat. I wish you, yes, do come by, join us. We are an awesome group. We are one big, happy, dysfunctional family. And that's just the way I like it. Anyways, back to the subject at hand, Eugenia Cooney and Kati Morton. So I want to hear from you in the live chat. What do you think? Do you think Kati Morton, she should have disclosed on both the collabs that she did consult, she did advise Jaclyn Glen and friends and those who went to pursue the intervention of Eugenia Cooney? Should that have been disclosed? What do you think, ethically speaking? And even bigger question, ethically, do you think Kati Morton should not have done these collabs, or at least have stopped these collabs knowing this was not going to go any further? Because I'm sorry to say, no hate, and don't bring any hate her way by any means. I think she's a lovely, Eugenia Cooney, from what I've seen of her, I think she's a lovely young lady. She's a lovely, I really do. So no hate to go her way. Obviously, we do not send hate to people with an illness or a condition. I know a lot of people like to do that, but no, we're not going to. No, don't do it. But but like I said, I see once again. Do you think that once Kati Morton noticed that Eugenia Cooney was not going to discuss continued recovery or such, or that she appears to be less than honest in the collapse, do you think Kati Morton should have put a stop to it right away? Do you think she should have put a stop to it? Do you think Kati Morton should never have pursued the collabs in the first place? And maybe if Kati Morton were serious about doing eating disorder videos by interviewing somebody in recovery from an eating disorder, that she perhaps should have picked somebody else. And it wouldn't have, somebody else who would have been willing to go and talk on camera, tell their story on camera, obviously. Because, while many don't like to talk about it, it is, a lot of people, it is a source of shame and such, but there are others that do want to tell their story publicly and out loud. So I'm sure Kati Morton wouldn't have had a difficult time finding such a person, maybe even a young man, because there is still, like I said, it is still very much a female's condition. But young men and boys, there are a growing number of boys and young men developing eating disorders. And maybe that would have been really interesting if you took a young man or a boy. I believe there is a YouTuber, a young man who talks about his own eating disorders on his channel. If somebody could put that in the live chat or in the comments section later, I would be very happy to know that. Yeah. So I would be very happy to know that. But yeah, it would have been better, I think, in my opinion, if she had taken somebody else, male or female, really. Even if they, and probably might have been, like, her viewers might resonate more with somebody who doesn't have the notoriety or the fame that Eugenia Cooney has. I honestly think it would have been a much better video. It still would have gotten the views. Like I said, Kati Morton may not have 2 million subs, but she's a stone's throw away from 1 million subs. Like I said, her videos get millions of views. As a YouTuber, she is well established. She heads off to events and talks on panels like at Vid Summit or VidCon. I don't think she needed to take another, especially a troubled celebrity like Eugenia Cooney. So, what say you? Is there a question you have? Is there a different opinion you'd like me to cover? So I turn it over to you for a moment. What do you all think? What do you all think? Yeah, I know. I smoke. Maybe I need intervention. No, no, I don't. But yeah, but on a serious note, I honestly think so. Yeah. So yeah, this is where I turn it over to you in the chat. Okay. Well, you can feel free to mention it in the comment section later. This stream, as well as all my other streams, will be left up for those who are interested. It will be left up for those who are interested. I'm not going to leave the 2 collabs. No, I'll leave the 2 collabs in my pinned comment section with the disclaimer that I disagree with both of them if you want to see them. But I do disagree with both of them. I will also in the pinned comment, I will put my video review of the Shane Dawson, Jaclyn Glen, and Eugenia Cooney situation from last summer. I'll have that linked in a pinned comment below. Below once I jump off the stream. As for Jaclyn Glen, okay, I did not change my view from the video I did last summer on that. I still think especially her first response video, was like so disorganized and so haphazard that it kind of smacked of sour grapes to me, and it still does, but that is, yeah, so you can see that there. If anybody asks if I have changed my mind on that, the answer is no. But on the other hand, I don't think she deserved to be thrown on the under the bus by Kati Morton either, you know. Hey, Meg, good of you to come. Meg, yeah, we had Jiffy in here, and we have Meg from the UK. Yeah, I don't know if Jiffy, if you're still here, if you please show a sign of life. But Meg, it's great to see you here on one of my live streams. I guess it's almost lunchtime for you over there, isn't it? It's almost lunchtime for you. Yeah. So, Meg, did you catch up with the Eugenia Cooney and Kati Morton collabs from about 48 hours ago? Yes, I figured it was near lunch. Well, it's great to have you here with us too. Don't worry, Meg. You know I leave up all this live streams, so you can. I leave the live streams up so you can catch up from beginning to end if you should so desire. Yeah, you were horrified too, huh? Yeah. Like I said, I do question. I was talking about earlier, and I'm not going to rehash the whole thing, everything I said. But like I said, the stream will still be up, so you'll be able to catch up on what I said. I do question the ethics of Kati Morton of having done these collabs for a variety of reasons. I really do. Okay, like I said, this is coming from a lay Canadian's point of view. I don't live in the state of California, nor do I plan to. I'd have to first be allowed to enter the United States to do that. Yeah. It's not just the morality, it's the ethics, it's the ethics. Like I said, it is clear that Eugenia Cooney is still very much in denial over her condition. It is apparent that she is being less than forthcoming, less than honest. It is quite apparent. It is quite apparent, and thus I think Kati Morton should have at least put an end to the stream. Not the stream, but the video. She should have put an end to it right away, or better still, not started. Or, like I said, if she was serious about doing an interview with somebody in recovery, I mean, really in recovery from an eating disorder, and comes by it honestly, she should have picked somebody else. And I think it would have resonated more with her viewers than somebody with the fame and notoriety that Eugenia Cooney has. I think it would have been far more effective if Kati Morton took somebody else, who doesn't have the fame or notoriety. Doesn't even have to be a YouTuber for that matter. Yeah, agreed. I agree with you, Meg. Absolutely. Yeah. And I also, the very fact, Eugenia Cooney, it was almost like she was egging Kati on when she was talking about, she still thinks she was bullied or snafu'd by Jaclyn Glen and friends. Now, this is common. Like I said, this is common for an addict who has gone through an intervention. They do feel that those who participated in the intervention are still people who betrayed their trust, if you will. So that's not uncommon. However, does Eugenia Cooney really not know by now that Kati Morton did provide counsel to Jaclyn Glen in how to pursue this intervention? That Kati Morton was indeed, even in a small way, had a small role in this whole intervention that led to, Jaclyn Glen and friends, and then the PET psychiatric emergency team intervention. Yeah. Kati knows better than to coding that as betrayal. Yeah, I know she does. Co-signing. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you there, Meg. I absolutely agree with you there. Please feel free to give this video a like on the way out the door. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell below. Further up is our Discord server. 3 weeks old, almost 30 members strong. It's an adults only server. You have to be 18 and up to join. So yeah, so consider joining. It's a group of awesome people, non-judgmental people, real people. So come and meet some new friends. Come join us. Share your creativity. Okay, back to the task at hand. So yeah, I think, yeah. So I'm going to be jumping off this stream shortly because it's been 45 minutes. I think I've pretty much said everything I wanted to say on this subject. So I'm going, you know, and I will leave you with this. I will leave you with a recap just in just a minute. But first, like I said, feel free to leave a like out the door. If you didn't like this video, please give it a thumbs down. It is still engagement according to the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. I want to thank all my new subscribers. Yes, in the month of December, my subscriber count grew exponentially. I grew more in the month of December than I did in 7 months previous. So that is awesome. For those wondering, I am setting up a Patreon account. I still have to get a couple of uploads for the $1 tier that I'm planning to have on the Patreon, after which time I will share publicly. So that should be in about a week or two. I'll be sharing my Patreon link, so that could be another way to support the channel, if you will. Don't feel pressured. I will always provide content for free. Yes? Okay. Maybe one day it would be an interesting video to compare eating disorders with addiction. Yeah. But that'll be another video for another time. I'm not going to do that today. I'm not going to do that now in this sitting, you know. But yeah. Yeah, so please consider subscribing if you haven't already, like I said. Grandma Dramamine will be coming on the scene. She's already starting to come on the scene. I plan to introduce her to various social media platforms gradually. I've already opened up a Google account for her. She's already subscribing to channels, and she is leaving comments on some people's videos. So you never know. Unfortunately, she doesn't have a profile pic up yet. That should come in about 3 weeks' time. Because I have to consult with a makeup artist, to get the Grandma Dramamine garb up, and to have some profile pictures shot and stuff like that, and some video clips. So we'll be introducing her later to Twitter and to Facebook, maybe Instagram, but don't count on it. Personally, I don't use Instagram that much anymore, but we'll see. So we'll be introducing Grandma Dramamine incrementally. And by 2nd of February, the channel should be up and running with channel art, profile pics, a trailer video, and a first upload. So that's going to be a lot of fun. For those who don't already know, Grandma Dramamine will be discovering why the young people love social media so much. She'll be taking an adventure through what's trending these days and what's not, what's hot, what's not. So that should be a channel that's a lot of fun. Also, I got an offer of help from somebody to develop that channel. I'm not going to mention who she is yet because I am still talking with her. So once those are hammered out, I may reveal that later. So anyways, nothing certain, knock wood. So that's what's coming down. What else am I doing? I'm not going to be uploading each and every day as I did the month before. I'll probably try for one video or one stream every other day. I have gone 4 days without uploading or doing anything on this channel already, but some other crap has gone on in my life these days. Yeah. Oh, well, I don't think I'm a star, Meg, but thank you. Thanks, Meg. I don't think I'm a star, but thank you. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You would love to support my Patreon. I'll let you know when it's up, Meg, and I really appreciate the offer. And I'll let you know when it's up. But like I said, I want to get at least 2 uploads onto up onto the site first. Because you know, as they say, you guys sing for your supper. In this case, film for your supper, stream for your supper. Yeah. So there, yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Yeah, like I said, unfortunately, a lot of crap has been going on in my personal life the past couple of days. So still trying to deal with that. But I'm going to try and try and do as many live streams as I can for the month of January. Okay. I'm going to do as much as I can. I'm not going to completely drop off the face of the earth. If I do feel a need to drop off the face of the earth, either due to health issues or the ongoing crap that's going on in my personal life, I will let you all know, most definitely. Unfortunately, because I do not have 1,000 subscribers yet, I do not have a community tab in which I can post these quick updates. Need 1,000 subscribers to do that, and I would love to have that community tab more than anything else, even more than monetization. I would love to have that community tab. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Meg. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad we met through Hedda's Haven. I'm glad we met through Hedda's Haven. Good people over there. That's a YouTube channel if you want to check her out. Hedda's Haven. If you want to check her out, Hedda's Haven. She does a lot of, she reads a lot of fairy tales and folklore, spooky stories. She also does other story time videos. She is a lovely lady to watch and to listen to. As a matter of fact, I agree with many. Hedda has the voice to do voiceovers for Audible. Honestly. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad too. Thank you, Meg. Thank you. So anyways, before the YouTube dashboard completely uncooperates with me, as it has been doing throughout the night, the wee hours when I was preparing this stream, I'm going to cut it short. So I'm going to leave you the questions. I'm going to leave off with these questions. Should Kati Morton have agreed to not do these collabs? Because especially a misleading title like How to Help Somebody with Mental Health, very misleading because it should be titled How Not to Help Somebody with Mental Health. So if Kati Morton was giving her a chance, should Kati Morton, at least from an ethical and moral standpoint, should she have cut and canceled the rest of the collabs? That's it. And if Kati Morton were serious about doing an interview with somebody with an eating disorder who is in recovery, who is honestly in recovery and wishes to tell their story on camera, should she have picked somebody who with less notoriety and fame than Eugenia Cooney? Would she or he be more resonate more with Kati Morton's viewing audience and subscribers? So yeah. And should Kati Morton have disclosed on camera that she consulted Jaclyn Glen on the intended intervention that Jaclyn Glen and friends pursued? Should Kati Morton have disclosed that in both videos because they were on the two different channels? Should Kati Morton have disclosed this on camera that she did consult and advise Jaclyn Glen on how to pursue the intervention of Eugenia Cooney? Or, so anyways, yeah, those are the questions. I will leave you with that. Please put that in the comment section below. Put your point of view in the comment section below. We always like to have a lively discussion around here. So I'd like to keep that going. And so I will end this stream right now. Have a great, happy hump day, everybody. And I may try to go live maybe tonight if I feel like it, maybe this evening if I feel like it. If not, maybe tomorrow. Also, please let me know in the comment section what you'd like to hear me talk about. What would you like to hear me talk about? And please consider joining our Discord server. Like I said, the link is in the description box right now. Come and check us out. We are a great bunch of non-judgmental people. Don't have to put on a show for anybody. So yeah, come and jump in and join. And I will catch you all in the next one. Have a good day, everybody. Bye. Happy hump day. Thank you. Thank you. I will have a rest. I promise, Meg. Thank you.